this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Saturday the 17th of April. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlesticks, slightly bearish start to the day. Going to need to see Bitcoin move back through the pivot at 61,616. to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 63,226. We'll need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out and back through to 63,000 levels. So barring an extended rally on day, expect that first major resistance level and Friday's high at 63,520 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin target its swing high 64,829 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 65,131. Failure to move back through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 59,711 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of the second major support level, sitting at 58,101. Looking at the MACD, got a narrowing of the bullish histograms at the turn of the day, but nothing conclusive as yet to suggest a bearish morning ahead, to look out for a bearish cross. On the EMA, however, the 50 has narrowed in on the 100 and the 200, pressuring Bitcoin early this morning. So key through the early part of the day, move back through the pivot at 61,616 and back through to 63,000 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, bullish start to the morning. Going to need to Ethereum avoid a fallback through the pivot at 24.27. take a run at the first major resistance level, staying at 25.47. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break back through to 2,500 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's new swing high at 25.48 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ethereum target 2,700 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 2,668. A fallback through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 2307 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should continue to steer clear of sub 2200 levels. Second major support level sits at 2187. Looking at the MACD, you've got a widening of the bullish histogram at the turn of the day, supporting the early upside. On the EMA, the 50 is holding its ground against the 100 and the 200, so inconclusive there as yet. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 2427. and break back through to 2,500 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Going across to Litecoin against the US dollar, particularly bullish start to the day after yesterday's rally. Going to need to see Litecoin steer clear of the pivot at 298 to take another run at the first major resistance levels at sitting at 330. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to hold on to 320 levels through the morning. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through to sub 320s and avoid the pivot level at 298 to bring the first major resistance level at 330 back into play. In the event of an extended rally, should see Litecoin target 350s before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 352. A fall through the pivot level would bring the first major support level at 277 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should steer clear of the 23.6% fib at 250. Second major support level sits at 245. Looking at the MACD, we've got a marked widening of the bullish histogram at the turn of the day, supporting this early rally. On the EMA, also bullish indicated with the 50 pulling away from the 100 and the 200. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through to sub 320s and avoid the pivot level of 298 to break back through that first major resistance level and target 350s. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against US dollar, slightly positive start to the day after yesterday's sell-off. Going to see Ripple's XRP move through the pivot at 1.5931 to bring the first major resistance level, sitting at 1.7657 into play. We'll need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break out from 1.75 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 1.80892 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ripple's XRP target 2.0 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level is at 1.9815. Ready to move back through the pivot, we'll bring the 23.6% fib at 1.5426 and the first major support level at 1.3772 into play. Barring another extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should steer clear of sub 130s. Second major support level sits at 1.2047. Looking at MACD, we've got a widening of the bearish histogram after yesterday's late bearish cross, suggesting some downside ahead. On the EMAs, the 50 has also narrowed on the 100 and the 200, suggesting some downward pressure on Ripple's XRP early on. So key through the early part of the day, move back through the pivot at 1.5931 and back through to 1.75 levels to support a breakout. Better to do that, and support levels will be in play.